Hi everyone, this is another run on Cloudy with a Chance of Meteor, Lufenia Plus. And this run is actually just me trying out an interesting strategy, which is to actually fully abuse the orb attack from the Guardian boss and actually killing the Guardian boss first before the King Behemoth. The crux of the strategy really is using Noctis BT plus follow-up attack, which is single target, to rapidly trigger the Meteor plus orb attack from the Guardian, because each time you do any brave attack to the Guardian boss, the orb will tick down by -3, which means that with Noctis' follow-up attack, any other brave attack that you do will actually -6 the orb, which then means that the orb attack will trigger once every 2 attacks. And this is actually very useful because the orb attack from the Guardian boss is actually evadable, and that is where Leila comes in. So at the start of the fight, I just reset until I get Ramza and Noctis going first, and then I just use both of their BT+. Ramza's BT+ will -1 the Behemoth orb, but that doesn't really matter. And right here I use Leila to use her additional ability and also call in Tidus. Leila's additional ability actually isn't needed, and on hindsight I think it's better not to use her additional ability because it ticks down all her buff by 1, which is quite important to maintain. And quick disclaimer, this party doesn't have a unique weapon holder, so it doesn't actually fulfill all the mission requirements, but like I said, it's just sort of me testing out what I find to be an interesting strategy. So with BT Plus activated on Noctis and Ramza, the setup is more or less complete. Here I'm just trying to gun down the orb as quickly as possible on the Guardian boss to trigger the Meteor Plus attack. So right here the orb explodes and it's Meteor Plus Plus. Now Meteor Plus Plus is just a simple AoE, Brave and HP damage, and it deletes 1 turn of all party members that gets hit. But it is evadable like I mentioned, so what happens there is that it triggers Leila's counter attack orders, and Leila will move everyone up immediately after. So you get 2 turns, have Leila then attack the Guardian, and then Noctis will -3 the orb again. And then you just have to do 1 more attack, and then the orb will explode all over again. There is only one weakness to this strategy, in that all of Leila's attacks are AoE except for her EX and her HP plus attack. So this means that during her turn I'm always spamming HP plus or EX attack when it's up, and then when her overhead gets low, like in this case, and her LD buff gets low, I will then use her S2 right here to refresh her overhead, and then on the next turn I'll use her LD to refresh her LD buff. Doing so will -6 the orb on the Behemoth, but that's okay because you do have that leeway to play with. And then thereafter I'm just spamming EX and HP plus attack on the Guardian until the Guardian is dead. Interestingly also, because you are triggering the orb every 2 attacks, and that will trigger Leila's counter attack orders every 2 attacks, that means that your turn count doesn't actually increase anymore. So if you look at the turn order, at the turn count, it's still remaining at 2. That's because Leila keeps giving everyone free turns every 2 actions that you take. So I'm just repeating this all the way until the Guardian is dead. You do need to keep an eye on Leila's overhead and her LD buff, and right here, because the Behemoth orb count is down to 3, what I'm gunning for is to bring the Guardian as low as possible right until Leila's buffs expire. Right here I was debating what to do. I was thinking of actually going to BT mode with Ramza because that will also uptick the orb and at least refresh his BT aura, but I just decided to see whether I could complete the run without using BT mode. So here I pop summon because I need to maintain the orb count on the behemoth, and then what I'll be doing here is actually be swapping Noctis out for Selphie friend support. Noctis has done his job, so you don't really need him anymore. Alternatively, what you can do is wait until Noctis is at 1 BT aura count remaining and then pop BT mode with Ramza to make use of Noctis's follow-up attack and at least damage the behemoth a little bit before you pop summon mode. But like I said, with Selphie and Ramza, you don't really need to any longer. You can comfortably finish the boss off using summon mode and the attacks after that. So during summon mode, you'll be doing in excess of 850k HP damage due to the launches from Selphie. This will allow you to uptick the orb again all the way to max count very comfortably. So during summon mode, it's also very important to take the opportunity to refresh Leila's buffs and overhead because she still does have a role to play. At 49% and 29%, the behemoth will actually warp its turn to the front and do a series of HP attacks. And you actually want this to happen because as you can see, Leila will dodge the HP attack and it will trigger everyone turn warping to the front and very nicely 3 more free turns. So behemoth turn warping actually helps you more than it hurts you. So from here, it's a clear run to the finish. Selphie just needs to spam LD and Selphie's LD will actually uptick the orb +2, whereas Ramza and Leila's attacks will only -1 the orb. So in theory, this will actually net the orb count and you shouldn't really be expecting a decrease in orb count. Keep in mind also that at this point I haven't used Ramza's burst mode and I was actually just thinking of using his burst mode to finish off the boss, but the boss is pretty close to dead here and I thought again might as well just finish the boss off without using his burst mode. Here is a little bit dangerous because I've run out of Ramza's burst aura and the orb will start ticking down again because I no longer am able to deal more than 850,000 HP damage per turn. But as you can see, it doesn't matter because the boss is close enough for you to finish off before the orb ticks down to 0. Overall, while this party doesn't fulfill all mission requirements, I thought it is still pretty interesting because you're actually abusing the orb attack and the turn warp to help you instead of hinder you, and that was pretty interesting strategy overall. So that's it for this run. As always, I hope the video has been entertaining, and if you enjoy the content, please leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Lufenia fight. Bye!